We are back for another episode of Cody Builds, and on tonight's episode, you guessed it, we're working on Jeff's 1973 Dodge Charger. Now, where we left off last week, we got the floor, or half the floor, fitted into place. And what we're going to be working on tonight is getting that half of the floor tacked into place where we actually want it to be, and kind of measuring things up and making sure that we're on the right track here, because everything seems like it's lining up really well, except for one little area here. I'm going to show you guys we've got a little bit more gap down here than what we like. And what we think we figured out is that the bottom of the rocker right now is kind of splayed out just a little bit. It's going to stay there because we've got this thing braced up at the moment. So what we actually need to do is we need to get in here, cut this loose from the brace, and actually roll the bottom side of the rocker down and into place and push it over until it meets the floor where we want it. Now, once we've got that kind of located in place, we are going to weld all the way down the side of this car, all the way across the back. We're not going to fully weld it in just yet because I want to leave us a little bit of leeway for when we go to install the second half of the floor. Jeff's been working on getting that half of the floor cleaned up. We still need to brace that thing up in the same way we did the frame rail on the other half, and then we can stick that half back into the car. Now, I want to be sure that those two halves are going to meet up in the way that they're supposed to before we go to town welding this thing in. So we're going to weld it so that it is solidly in the car, but is not reversible if we find that we need to tweak or adjust the floor in any such way. So we're going to get on that right now. Jeff's applying some weld through primer. We're going to let that dry up, and then we're going to start getting things manipulated into place and getting this floor welded in. All right, like we talked about, first thing I'm going to do here is cut these tack welds on this brace so that way we can try and get this rocker positioned where we want it. Well, I tell you what, those new cutoff wheels from Harbor Freight are darn good. Just diced right through that. Okay. Loose, yeah. It's not bad. It didn't move at all. So that's good. All right, I think what we should do is run a ratchet strap across and tighten it up. That way we don't have to have hands on it and try and hold it in place. I see we're almost touching at the top already, but it does need to kick out. I think, well, actually, no. Yeah, it's going to kick out that way some because we got to square up the back, right?
Yes.
Maybe we do that first. We tack the back in place. Let's do that.
Okay. Yeah, the whole car's going up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great what's happening there.
Can I see that pry bar? Oh,
whoa, whoa. Oh, that's nice.
But we are really, I mean, we're moving the whole car.
I totally get that, but at least it gets the floor.
Yeah, whoa. See, that was a problem. Should not have done that. See right here. Well, and if you look actually on the back side, this is almost flat now.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I caught
so,
that. That's great.
We're not far off from where it originally was, because if you look here, this is the original piece, right? Look how close that is to the...
Oh, okay.
So that probably sits about like that. Why don't I weld that in? Okay, I wonder if I tack... Let me tack this in, because we're pretty much close to the bottom here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, see, we're right way off now, though. I mean, something moved on us pretty good, because we're over the halfway line here.
Wow.
Pretty significantly far. Well, that sucks. So we're gonna have to grind that off, and we gotta push the frame out a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
No,
I mean,
we're further that way now because remember these were lining up before.
right.
So that's got to be closer to the halfway mark there.
Agreed. And the hump is back to being lined
Okay.
up with the wheel well.
Okay. So just based on, I think this is gonna, I feel like this is gonna have a little bit of a
Right.
reveal.
Right.
Based
Agreed.
on the curvature of that. It's
Agreed.
probably less than that, but probably close to like where it is right now. So I wonder if I put a very small tack here and then we try and lift this side into place instead of doing it the opposite way.
Sounds good to me.
I'm just not gonna go nuts on it. I'm just gonna put a very small tack there.
Okay.
And hopefully it'll hold. And then we can try and swing this up into place. There that goes. Look how, I mean, we moved that a good 1/4 inch over. You see that's where the other spot weld was?
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe our floor is sagging a little bit. So if I do this.
Okay. I was going to say, check this out, Cody. So this is
Yeah.
how it was, and look how much of this is exposed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, but you see we're here, it feels like we're just a little low in here.
mm-hmm.
But I'm doing this and I'm jacking the whole car up again. So I should probably not, again, not be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like that's where it's going to be, which I like it all the way till about here. Like this section is the section that I feel is a little, if I cut that one spot
Right.
well back out again. Yeah,
I think that's
we can try.
what needs.
We can try. I can
it
go up a
seems
little
like
bit
that's
higher.
What needs to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we're going to accomplish that. How can we get leverage on that whole part of the floor to try it out?
Yeah, let me see. Okay. Now,
Well, how about lift it up on,
look.
okay, or lift it up there.
So we just needed to do it a little bit at a time here.
Yes,
So I'm gonna tack this in, and then I'm gonna pull this down and tack that in.
I love that idea.
And that should get us pretty close to where it needs to be. And then I do want to set it back down because right now I've got a lot of tension on it. It's up off the frame table in the back. Something like that.
I like it.
Come around to the front side here, and what we've done, like I said, is we cut this brace apart, our tacks apart here. And you can see where the tack welds were on the bar and where they are on the brace now. Probably 1/2 inch difference there. Got a bar clamp in on the bottom of the rocker here, and we're using the brace and the rocker to suck this together. We did throw a ratchet strap in. That was our kind of first attempt, but the bar clamp is actually working a lot better. And you can see how well the floor lines up here. It's touching all the way up to the top of the hump, and then we get a gap again. And the reason for that is we've got our brace in here, which is not allowing that lower wheel well to pivot in. So what I want to do, get this all tied in up as far as we can get it, and then we'll cut the center brace and do something similar as we did here, suck that wheel well in, lower our gap down to where it's minimized, and tack that in the rest of the way back. Everything else is lining up really great here. So you'll see we have a pretty good hole in the floor here, but if you look closely, you can see where a cutoff wheel went through once, twice, pretty far apart. So we actually think a good chunk of the floor is actually just missing there. So with that and this little bit of rust here, what I'll likely do is once we get this tacked in where we like it, get everything else lined up here, we're going to probably cut a rectangle out of this and patch the floor pan in there to eliminate that rust hole and this kind of ugliness here where this was all cut up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get things cleaned up, lined up, tacked in as far as we can and move on to the next section. I'm going to go ahead and start up at the top here. And I've still got some movement in this piece. I'm going to go ahead, get it where I like it, and just throw a tack up here. Tacked all the way down the side, a couple on the front edge here. That's tying our frame and this floor pan back into the front half of the car. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack our brace back down here again. And you can see once I released all that tension off of this with the bar clamp and everything, that rather than having a 1/2 inch gap between where the spot welds were, it's maybe a 1/4 inch gap now. So some of that was exaggerated from pulling on this bar. I'm gonna go ahead and tack this back in, and that's gonna help us with some of the added weight up there when we cut out the brace that's under the wheel well. So I'm gonna blast this in real quick. Go. Yay, nay?
You can put that wherever you want.
Perfect. Lovely.
I mean, you're like way past it.
Oh, really?
Way past
Okay.
where you need to be
Lovely.
to do that.
So I don't have any pressure on it right now, is
not
it? Oh,
exaggerating.
gosh.
You can put
Wow.
that wherever you want.
Wow. Perfect. Oh, my gosh. So this is the gap we're trying to resolve here, and with that brace cut off, with very little pressure put on the wheel arch, you can see we can pretty much close that gap right up down to a very weldable gap. So I'm going to go ahead, get this clamped into place and get the back half of this welded up, and yeah, we'll figure out what we need to do up here. And basically this half of the floor is going to be attached to the car, which is just a huge milestone for this project. Really exciting, really exciting stuff to have a good solid floor, rocker, wheel arch, all that stuff tied back into one another. So a lot of work to get to this point, but it's going to be really rewarding at the end of the night here when we see this all welded in place. You want to go at the back side here, and I'm going to tighten up this clamp, and you tell me when this is drawing closer. Maybe a little tighter on that one.
Oh, there you go.
Good. Oh yeah, that's real good. I actually gotta let off a little bit. How's that? Pretty good there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can push that right down into place. We're not tooting our own horns, but toot toot.
It's not bragging if you can back it up.
Okay, look at this gap, guys. This is this seam here turned out so nice. Like I said, we knew we had some rot back here. We cut the section out, so we knew we were gonna have to remake something there, and we're gonna have to come up with a little bit better attachment point here for the floor back to the wheel well here. But honestly, there's still some rot here, so we'll probably end up cutting this and just making this in one piece, welding that back in. It'll attach back to the wheel well here, and yeah, we'll have the floor, the wheel well, rocker, all one piece here, which is pretty stinking great, guys. I'm not gonna lie, that feels like a huge accomplishment. Okay, so I went ahead and I added, a little bit of stitch welding to most of the spots that I tack welded just to really firm this thing up. Make sure we weren't gonna have any issues once we start cutting other parts of the bracing out here. And man, this looks so good. The best angle is probably from around the passenger side here. You can see just how well the floor all transitions in with one another over there. So you can see it's just a nice flat floor. Obviously, like I said, we've got that one little section we need to repair just because of how it was cut out. But I mean, everything else you can see lines up really well. Even our old floor pan and tunnel here overlapping really well. Everything is looking really good. So like I said before, this is a huge step in the right direction, and we're really now able to start working on the other half of the car, where we can start drilling out all of the spot welds along the pinch weld here, up underneath the wheel well, start to pull out the old floor so that we can get the new floor put back in. Now, before we do all that, again, we're gonna have to brace everything up just like we did on the other side, but that is where we're gonna leave this one off. We're kind of at a point here where it makes sense to cut this video off because we've got that floor welded in, and the next steps really are going to be for us to repeat a lot of the work that we did on the other side. So Jeff is going to be out working on the car this weekend, also doing a lot of that prep work that we were talking about, cutting spot welds, doing all that stuff. In the background, I've been working on my dad's IH392 engine. You guys are going to see that a little bit later on, doing a lot of the prep work, cleanup work to get ready to assemble that engine. That's all going to be coming very soon. But briefly, I just wanted to have a little chat with Jeff because we are at a point now where we've got, I'd say, 25 to 30% of the car back together.
Yep.
So how are you feeling about this project now? We're 3.5 months in. I don't know. Just give me your thoughts. What are you thinking about the project?
Couldn't be happier about the progress. Couldn't be happier about the results. And it's been way more satisfying than I even thought it would be. As we discussed when this whole project started and we talked on the video, I wanted to take a car and do this kind of work to it. And thank God I have a friend like you, Cody, who can guide me through this process and actually do the lion's share of the work. I'm just helping, but it's a dream come true, and it's all going better than I could have ever hoped for and anticipated. I mean, look, this car was a wreck.
Yeah,
it was a wreck, and now look at it. It's
less of a wreck.
Okay. I mean, that side of the car is the finishing welding aside, it's as intact as it could possibly be.
As intact as it's been in, what do we say, 40 years, basically?
At least 40 years.
I mean, like we were just talking about this. The only thing we really have left to do on this side is we've got to finish up this little fender lip here. And then pretty much that's it for rust repair from the back of the car up to the floors. Like we're going to do the floors. And Jeff did order the full floor pan. I think I've said that before.
Yep.
But from here up to the toe boards, that's all going to be one shot. That's going to be fairly quick. We got the back half from here back, so we really only have this little section, basically from here to here, that we need to repair in the car. So aside from that and that wheel lip, this side of the car is done, except for the quarter panel, obviously. But again, that's going to go on in one shot. So. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say we're 3.5 months in. What did you think? What was your timeline on this? Are we kind of like, is it taking longer or is it going quicker than what you anticipated?
I think it's going much faster than I anticipated. Much faster. And now that we've got that part done, which had the collision damage to it, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We know what we're getting into. Doing this side is just, I don't mean to trivialize it, but we're replacing everything, and we've already done that kind of work. We just got to repeat it on this side. So this side, knock on wood, is going to go much faster than that side.
Yeah, and the thing that I would add is, because we had so much collision repair, there's a lot of, I don't want to say second guessing or questioning, but there's a lot of things that weren't in the location they were when we started this project. Trying to pull everything back out, flatten everything out, and get the floor pans back where they're supposed to be, the rocker back where it's supposed to be. And we don't have anything to reference, really. We can reference off of this side of the car, but as we've been laughing about quite a bit, this car's pretty asymmetrical, the
Yes.
parts from left to the right. Like, the firewall's not even straight. There's a big divot on the passenger or the driver's side here. So as far as like trying to make measurements for the rockers and all this stuff, there's not a lot to work off of. So we're doing it just a little piece by piece, and we're checking things as best we can as we go. And the really encouraging thing tonight was, like, as we were pushing that floor together, it's like, okay, that spot lined up perfect. Okay, move 6 inches down. Okay, that spot's lining up perfect. Move a foot down. Oh, that spot's lining up perfect. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better.
No.
The floor, I thought tonight was going to be a little bit of a battle. And really the only thing we battled was that back floor pan where it meets that tail light panel.
Yep.
We did battle that a little bit, just trying to get it lined up. And you guys saw that in the video tonight. But ultimately, some of that has to do probably with the condition of the floor back there. Like, since we did a ton of rust repair and everything, there's
Right.
probably some movement in the floor a little bit.
And it's two different cars.
Right. That is a spot where we are joining two different cars back together. But ultimately, once again, we're using context clues on some things where it's like, okay, well, if the flange, we know the flange doesn't go above a certain hole in the panel. Okay, so we can line that up there. And you start doing those kinds of things, and it all just kind of fell into place, really.
It did. It all came together tonight. It was super nice.
It's so exciting for me because I think the most stressful part for me about this whole build was definitely that passenger side. Again, because it's collision repair, and we're using different parts from a different car, and those parts aren't perfect, and they're rusty, and we had to do a lot of patching and repairing on all that stuff. And see, in the back of my mind, I had this question all along of, like, how well is it going to go together, right? Like, we can get it together, but it'd be best if it just kind of falls together itself rather than having to manipulate everything. And, we can literally butt weld the floor back together. Now, can we patch over the top of it and add some strength in? Sure, we could do that if we need to, but I'm glad we don't have to do that because the gap's off by a half an inch.
Right.
Like, everything just lined right back up and looks really good, really good.
It does.
So it's really exciting stuff.
I knew you could do it. I honestly did.
We did it. We did it.
Well, I appreciate that. But you are the brains behind this. I mean, the fact that you knew about the jig and how to build the jig and have to put it on a jig to make all this happen, I'm blown away. I am absolutely blown away.
Well, I appreciate that. And we haven't had to, it's been really great having the car on the jig. In all honesty, guys, we roll this thing back and forth. We don't level it up every single night. Jeff and I were just talking about this, and I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but we were talking about, the structure of this car, and, like, we know we're pretty darn close to having this thing square and having the rails level with one another and all that. But here's the thing, on these Mopars, there's not a full frame underneath them. Everybody knows these things have body roll when you're turning. They're really good in a straight line. They don't handle all that well. They have a lot of body flex and body roll. Everything's out of alignment when you're going around a curve. So, if this car tracks straight, that's going to be the best sign that we've had a job well done. So if we can get this thing to track straight and look straight, fairly straight, then we've done our job. So yeah, so this is to me, this is one of the most exciting nights. I think
it is.
Only second to the door closing. The door was pretty monumental.
Getting the door to fit.
Getting the door to fit and close was pretty awesome.
Exactly.
So, all right. Any other parting words tonight?
Just want to thank everyone out there for their support, their kind words, their shared enthusiasm for rescuing a car, the shared enthusiasm about the positive comments about a Charger. It's a great car. It's a lovely car, and I just want to thank everybody for their support and kind words.
I couldn't have said any better, guys. You know the deal. If you don't work on your projects that will not work on themselves, get out in the garage, get building, and we'll see you on the next episode of Cody Builds.